Alright, well it seems that the developers are not shying away and utilizing the man of the hour within their promotional artwork for the next storyline, which is next week. Should be interesting. But yeah, they decided to show off a little bit of Flame Divine Arrow type Sukuna, of course, the anniversary character, which we all know that's going to be the case. If they drop him early, I don't even know where to begin on what is going on. But continuation of the story, we already spoke about this in terms of where the story left off. We know that you know, Itadori's out for the count, and so Sukuna will be reawoken once again. So yeah, it's everything is basically falling in line perfectly. So there's that. Chozo, we do have his boss event, so it'll be interesting to see how this new boss fares. So we'll definitely tackle that when the time comes. Now, this is unfortunate. We got a bit of a rerun, as per usual. They're doing a little bit of rerun. They're stalling, as per usual, which again comes back to whether or not what the plan is for Global to catch up. Because whenever I see things like these, I'm just like, damn, okay. This gives Global every more of the opportunity to catch up. But then again, on Global, they're having that break between, or in the middle of August, of course. So again, we're just gonna have to wait until, well, we're gonna have to wait until September to roll in to see if Nanami drops in September. But another filler banner to release, which I think limits on what we could expect in terms of on what's to come up, because realistically, this is probably, I'm telling you right now, this banner, does it have an end date? Yeah, 23rd. It's going to run to the end of August, so this is pretty much going to take the majority of August out the way, which means a new character will probably be releasing either right at the end of August or going into September, and that is going to be a brand new character. So realistically, time-wise, we've got 2 to 3 new characters coming before the anniversary begins. I'm going to say 2 characters, because when the new character releases at the end or beginning of September, that's probably going to run for a whole month, which means going into October, that's going to be pre-anniversary. So there is going to be a wide gap and little amount of characters. That's kind of my view on it, until, well, unless they choose to release a character whilst this filler banner is happening. It's a possibility. We'll have to wait and see on what gets announced through the 19th, if there's going to be any addition of characters releasing with the story content. We'll have to wait and see. But if that's out for near enough the whole month, then yeah, I think there's going to be only 1 or 2 characters. I take it back. Before I was like 2 to 3, I'm just like, nah, they'll probably cut it down to 1 or 2, because again, new characters are out for like a whole goddamn month. So that's just kind of how it is. I would say 2 to 3 weeks, but some has been out for like a whole month, so that's just kind of how that is. But the lineup for what's to come next is looking very, very strong. You know, the developers are going to go hard in terms of building things up, releasing hype characters, because again, during this anniversary, I think it's going to be probably the biggest anniversary that we have had. I don't know on how they'll do the whole Gojo, because at the end of the day, Gojo is a moneymaker. There's no denying that. So I don't know how they're going to go about doing the Gojo moneymaker. Although, for this time round, they won't have to, because the moneymaker is with between Megumi as well as Sukuna. But yeah, with this post, a lot of JP players are like, don't bring him up now. But he's definitely going to be anniversary. There's no denying that. But like I said, in between now to the anniversary, the lineup is looking strong. What they can do, me personally and others are favoriting that we do get this version of Toji. Again, this is, if they want to drop this as pre-anniversary, that'll be insane. Although I do feel like he is valid to come in end of August, beginning of September. If they want to run out the filler banner, then that warrants this Toji to make his way in, because I don't think game-wise we've had the Megumi fight with Toji, so he's still valid to make an appearance as a summonable character, and I think they will. I don't think they'll miss out the opportunity, because again, this is another unit that is highly desired, make them good money too, so can't go wrong with that. I was surprised on with the release of Dagon and Chozo and whatnot, that Nobito didn't get a place. I thought he would have come beforehand or something like that, but I would say he's still in the running. I would say he's still in the running. We could technically, well, no, we could still technically see this character. It's still a possibility. And then, for me personally, with how it's all being set up, again, these are just kind of like characters in between now and then the anniversary. But like, if we're talking pre-anniversary, I do believe that it has to be Mahito. If you've got a pre-anniversary character set in mind, for me personally, I think it's got to be Mahito. So that's kind of where I'm at. So again, with the in-between, I would want Toji. If it is 2 characters, then I would say give us Toji, let him run it for like 2 to 3 weeks, and then as we go into the pre-anniversary stuff, get that Mahito in there, and then that will then lead into the anniversary. I mean, you can fight your case to be like another Itadori, you can fight your case to be like whose name am I trying to think of right now? Todo, there we go. So again, there's a plethora of options on what the developers can do. It's just in terms of character releases for JJK Phatom Parade, it's done in a very slow and wide timely manner, hence why we can only pick a specific few, of course. But then again, it gives them more option down the line on to release characters then and there, so yeah, that's another way to look at it. But it is definitely going to be a huge anniversary, because obviously by having this Sukuna being the main attraction, we know this, everyone knows this by now. It's not going to be any surprises. I mean, they're going to do what they did before in terms of being like, oh, here's Itadori, here's Gojo, that's the anniversary done. Psych, 3rd character. It's the longer way to Sukuna, of course. We know that for the 2nd anniversary, this Flame Divine Arrow shot Sukuna will be probably the 3rd character to release once again, or they might throw him in the 2nd slot, or even the 1st slot, who knows. But definitely going to be an anniversary character, and I think with that, we are going to be getting the Megumi who can summon Mahoraga, of course, and I think with these 2 alone will hold down anniversary. Now, who the 3rd character is, I do not know, because obviously with anniversary times, big celebration times, with JJK Phatom Parade, there's always 3 characters releasing. We've got 2 of them. We know, there's no doubt in my mind to say that this isn't going to be an anniversary character. This is 100% going to be an anniversary character, right? These 2 in particular, 100%. No doubt in my mind. If it isn't, I'll be shocked. Right now, in my mind, I can only think of Jogo, because of course he went toe-to-toe with Sukuna, but I don't know. I don't know if that Jogo is the right choice for the 2nd anniversary. So I am very stumped on who the 3rd character is, but I am damn sure that with the first 2 characters, or with the 2 anniversary characters that we know, Sukuna is a guaranteed 100%. We're not missing this out. Megumi, in my opinion, is like a hot, I'm like 90% sure like he is going to be anniversary. If he isn't anniversary, then they're definitely going to be saving for a celebration time. But I think with the with releases and whatnot, with where we're at with the Shibuya arc, it makes sense for him to drop with Sukuna during the anniversary time, of course. But again, who the 3rd character is, I don't know. I really don't know. It could be another Itadori. It could be, but I'm just going to leave that last slot open to be like, who's it going to be? But definitely these 2 are going to be anniversary. And in terms of between and pre-anniversary, I'm going to say pre-anniversary is going to be Mahito. This Toji has to make his way in. I would love Nobitsu to be coming in with Toji as characters before the pre-anniversary and the anniversary. But at the very least, I would like Toji to make his way in. And in terms of if they want to add an additional before the pre-anniversary, hey, I'm going to let them play ball. It could be, I don't know who it could be, to be honest. there's a whole line of plethora of characters that they could release. Yeah, but I think with everything else, that's kind of where I'm going to stick with my gun on what's to come. But yeah, so this gives Global a lot of things to think about, especially with the players, because I know some people are hell-bent on getting this Chozo, of course, but like I said it before and I'll say it again, Global was in a very sticky prediction. I said it before and I'll say it again, Global is in a sticky predicament in terms of with the character releases, of course, because they're waiting out so long and going into September. It's just like, okay, if Nanami does drop in September, then obviously a new character will release on JP, and then it's just like plans will change and shift and whatnot. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see on whether or not if Global is going to be a month behind. But then again, you get to see ahead of time what's releasing and then plan out on what the game plan is on that side of it. But anywho, ladies and gentlemen, yep, let's hold out till next week, see what the developers are cooking. If they add a new character, we'll see who that's going to be. But we are officially, I guess you could say, we're in the 2nd year anniversary storyline in terms of Sukuna and all that hype. We're at the end of the Shibuya arc. Let's say that. Well, near the end, close to the end. I mean, they're using that artwork, so that kind of, you know. Anyway, yeah, we'll see what happens on what they're cooking come on the 19th.